Welcome to Setting the Table, the Chefs of Best Fest. Today, I'm sitting with Chef Djamil Djibril Bah-Traore of House of Ba. His past starts in West Africa, where cooking was part of his family way before it became work. What makes Chef Djamil so compelling is that for him, food is bigger than the plate. It's a memory, hospitality, and a way to open up people to African cuisine in a new way. Well, good morning, Chef. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing fantastic.
That's
Can't
what I'm talking
complain.
about. Yeah, no doubt, man. So, first off, thank you for joining me today. I'm more than excited to have this conversation with you because actually sat down at this place
Yeah.
and first time I got to enjoy your food.
Yes.
And in my opinion, it was the best meal I've had. I had in 2025.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
absolutely. So
Appreciate
first off, tell me your name and where are you cooking at right now?
So I'm Djamil Djibril Bah-Traore. I have to kind of just pause right there because when you look at my name, it's Djibril. Folks really just call me Djibril, but Djamil is my first name, so that's why Djamil. I'm from West Africa, a country called Togo in West Africa.
Okay.
And then as far as where I'm cooking from right now, we are a caterer, and then we also pop up a lot of time. So we use different kind of kitchens. So today we're cooking out of Bohemian Gardens.
Nice, nice. Yeah, the Boho Supper Club, the Bohemian Gardens. Yes.
Yes.
So when I sat down to dine, I had an expectation, what I thought I was walking into,
Okay.
and you completely exceeded it. I mean, from the plating to how you brought the flavors together, my reactions were in real time, and so I left that dinner feeling something, and that's really what we want to do with Best Fest. So when this idea came about, I was like, Chef Djamil.
Well, thank you.
He's got to be here because it is legendary what you do with African food. And if correct me if I'm wrong, you're the only one in Omaha doing it.
At this level, right? I can't take all the credit at this level, right? Or this approach, there's other African chef in Omaha as well, but the approach that I've taken is different than the approach. So for me, I want to just elevate African food and make sure that people also understand it can be mainstream, it can be fine dining or casual dining, but it can also be a fusion food, right? Which can have other components and then bring showcase African culinary heritage in a way that people don't think about it.
Yeah.
So that I'm the only one that's doing that way.
Yeah.
So
no, you're doing it.
I don't want to have a big head thinking that I'm the only
No,
one.
you got the title. You have the title. You have the star
thank
on
you,
Hollywood
thank you.
Boulevard.
Thank you.
It is
thank
all
you.
you.
Yeah.
So, what country did you say you were from in Africa?
So I was born in Togo. It's just right next to Ghana. But my folks are from Mali.
Okay.
They left Mali just spreading, the word of Islam coming down. So they settled in Togo, and so now I claim to be Togolese. However, if you look at my last name, for folks that are from Africa that knows how African things works, they would know that I'm not from Togo per se, but the name is from Mali. But I just claim West Africa in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
West Africa in the house. So, back in West Africa, man,
Yeah.
how old were you when you first started cooking?
So the reason why I started cooking was because of my mom, right? So very early, she wanted to just initiate me into the art of cooking. So I come from a patriarchal community and family. My dad was against seeing a boy in the kitchen.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, I got some whack, just being in the kitchen. So in fact, every time he comes home, I have to run away and not being in the kitchen. So my great grandfather on my mother's side learned how to cook with the German and the French.
Okay.
Through colonization. So he passed that down to his male kid. So my mom was like, you will not be the exception. You will learn how to cook. So very early, she just draw me into just teaching me stuff like that, how to cook. So because my dad passed away also when I was 13,
Okay.
I had to learn how to cook. So that's when I really started really doing the thing on my own, because at one point in time I was living without my mother.
Yeah.
So, but I never knew it was going to be a profession. I won't even, if you go back and told me that you're going to be a chef, I told you, you're lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the transition? When did it happen that you were like, this is something I want to do? Was there a dish? Tell me about the journey to becoming a chef that like, was there a defining moment that you're like, I got this?
Yeah. So, as I told you, mom taught me how to cook with my grandmother, just passing down that through the lineage, all male son has to learn how to cook. And it became how I mourn her because she passed away in 2005, 2 years after I got here. So cooking became, thank you, I appreciate that. I wish she was actually alive now to see all this because she would be like, I couldn't believe, oh, my father was also alive to see this. So cooking became how I mourned my mom. It was just more like, hey, remembering her and then also cooking. And then it's something that I cannot really explain if there was a moment. But it was a specific dish or something that drew me. But I just realized that I love this so much because I'll wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. By 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I'll have like so many dishes, right? And I was getting bored at corporate because I've then been in corporate and then going from one company to another because you just follow your boss. The boss goes somewhere. 2 months later, they got a spot for you. You know how it works. You know what I mean? So my boss finally just moved to California, and then then they were like, okay, listen, if you come there, I have a space for you. I was like, well, I don't want to just keep doing this. And by that time, cooking was just like my safe zone, right? No matter what was going on, no matter how my day was, all that kind of thing, cooking just gave me some kind of happiness. Then I was like, listen, this thing is really, really coming to me. I need to just figure out if I want to really do this. And I don't want to regret not exploring it. That's what got me to decide to go to Metropolitan Community College and then to kind of see what it is. Mind you, I switched career. I was comfortable. I had, it was the safest job. The experience have been there. The career path was just like going up. Now I had to reverse. Not too young, go to Metro where I have kids that are 19, 18, right out of high school.
You're in there looking like Unc.
Exactly. I'm in there looking like Unc, totally like this guy with this accent also, what I mean? It's like, this dude, what is he doing right here? And then the funny thing also is that I knew that I needed to just free myself completely to really just do this thing. So I dropped everything off and I was driving a cab because I just wanted to have a small income, which will give me the leg up per se, because you still have to earn something. Even that I've saved some. At the same time, I wanted flexibility as well. And so driving a car was the way I could do it. So you see this guy, park a cab, yellow cab, walk out with a chef uniform going to school. It's like,
what is going on?
So many contradictions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
he doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly. As people say, is he crazy? What's going on with him? But that's kind of how I was able to just go to school, because I knew then that this is the thing that I want to do when I'm 90 or 95. I don't want to regret it. It started off just like that, and then the rest is history.
I mean, you cook with passion.
Yes.
You cook with passion, and that is something that a lot of chefs miss. Like a chef can make a great dish, but your food leaves people with a feeling. And just hearing where you cook from, it all makes sense. It literally all makes sense. I don't know how anybody could ever dine with you and not be like, wow, I felt this dish. When I was watching you in the kitchen, I think you were basting lamb. I was, most of the time it's a quick, you were there for like 3 minutes basting. I was like, this is going to have flavor. You're gonna bite into this and remember this bite. And I feel like food should evoke an emotion,
Wow, you said that food should evoke an emotion. You're right about it. And if you cook with that, and that's really how I was brought up, right? African food was, in general, I will say, you want to, people cook because they give you what they care about. People cook because they want to feed you and they want you to remember that. It's hospitality, right? So, and flavor, is something that's important. So that's why I like to play with it. For me, it doesn't matter if it's from India, Japan, France, all that kind of thing. As long as it's food, it needs to bring the same thing. The only unique thing that I also bring in it is just what I was taught of, that flavor, right? It's got to be flavorful. It's got to also make you, like I say, emotion, right? So one of the things that I truly believe in this time that we are is that if you truly love somebody's food, you can't hate them. And I try to get you to love my food when you eat it. I try to give you, like you say, that emotion, and you question yourself, like, wait a minute, even if you don't like this, if it's your first time, or even have a preconception of what it is, I want to change that. Especially with the African cuisine, there's a lot of unknown, a lot of misconception, and we need to change the narrative. We need people to understand that the cuisine existed a long time, and then there was other folks that have made it something that should be mainstream, but it's not there as should be. Now, in my opinion, it's the next frontier or the last frontier of cuisine. And you can attest with that by now. You've seen a lot of Michelin chefs. The newest one, at least, are Afrocentric chefs. So like finding people are catching up because like, oh, we forgot this, but it should be there already. So that's what I'm trying to just also give Omaha, that kind of, perspective and that kind of opportunity to taste food that has that passion to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, National Geographic has done a terrible job of representing African food. You see it and you're like, why would I want to go and eat that?
Yep.
But then, you dine with you and it's a totally different experience. So was your first real experience in a kitchen, was it in culinary school? Was it after culinary school? When did you walk into a kitchen and you were like, I'm the chef and this is my house?
Okay. Well, you got to also give credit to people that taught you along the way, right? So I'm somebody that always trying to just find a linear path or find a way to learn and then also having it all kind of plan, right? Funny thing is when I had this edge, I was like, I don't want to jump in it fully. So I had a buddy that was working in the grocery store. I don't want to name the grocery store.
Okay.
But when you walk in, you go to that's how you see the fried chicken, you see the salad, all that kind of thing. You're like, chef must be making this. So I was like, you know what? Let me go here first to understand if this is what it is, if I can hang.
Yeah.
So I went there and then I'm like, after a couple of weeks, I'm like, this ain't what I see on, there's no line, there's nothing. I don't see it's a fryer, but nothing from scratch. I'm like, this ain't it. This is the wrong space. You know what I mean? So I gotta go back to school. So I walk out, but I'm glad I did it because then it gave me the difference. I knew that just, being in that area, it's not just saying that you are following the culinary path. You're cooking, but you are not gonna learn how to be a chef in the grocery store, being in the back there, right?
Yeah.
Then culinary school was it, and then I also started while I was in school, did a stint at Dante. I was just doing an apprenticeship.
Nice,
I walked there. I said, listen, I don't want to get paid. I just
You were
want to learn.
staging.
Yeah, I was staging. You know what I mean? They're like, they look at me again. We're like, this dude was like, but I'm like, listen,
I want the experience.
I want the experience because I knew that I had to catch up.
Yeah.
I had the corporate, I had all that kind of thing, but I don't have the culinary. So let me. And Dante was my first professional kitchen to go to and see how things were working. That's when the whole feel of prepping, the line and stuff like that, right? So after that, I had to focus on school because I had more credit hours that I have to catch up with, and then I had an opportunity to just have a chef that told me, if you really want to just catch up, go work in a full service hotel.
Yeah.
Where you can work in banquet, where you can work the line, and then where you can do all kind of things. So I did that for 3 years. I worked in 3 hotels in town and did the breakfast, did the lunch, the dinner, work in the restaurant, working in the catering. So that's really where all this apprenticeship came through, right? So as far as me saying that when I work in kitchen, that I own it, every kitchen that I work in is some place that I own.
Yeah.
But I will say, for the kind of work that I do now, the pivot came after COVID.
Yeah.
The pivot came because I was working in hotels, even back in 2015, 16, and I saw something. I felt the disparity between, what I call cultural affirming cuisine, right? So it started with the folks from India that were staying at the hotel that I was working at, and then they wanted to have something close to their home.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, listen, India, Africa, Asia, I can make something up.
Yeah.
Because spice profile wise, so I just made some for them. I went and then just did a spice blend with just a curry and then made something for them and then they loved it.
Yeah.
I created a problem because he came back with his friend and another friend and then they're like, listen, I love what I'm getting, but I want something more like this. But my food and beverage director came down and said, this is not my menu. Don't do this thing.
Yeah.
Right. So you can imagine folks coming to Omaha, staying for 2-3 months, and then they don't have what they want to eat.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the next hotel and the other hotel, the same thing. Folks will come there, they say they want to have their weddings or events. And then they will ask for a specific dish.
Yeah.
The hotel will say, we don't know how to make it.
I do,
right?
Give me the ball, coach. Put me in the game.
Exactly. So why did you hire me, Tay?
Yeah.
Did you hire me just to check a box? Or do you truly hire me because you feel like I have an experience? And more importantly, these folks come here, they have spending power also.
Yeah.
But you're telling them we can't make this. So I start thinking, when will then be able to have the event? More importantly, it means that those spaces are closed off for those folks. Because people, everybody say you gotta be in the room, but for me, you gotta be on the table.
Yeah.
If your food or your culinary heritage is not also presented on the table, you can clearly say that you will still belong to that space. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So this is where I wanted to change that. This is where I decided that my work will have to be about making sure that this become mainstream to correct the mistake National Geographic made, and then the bias that we have
Yeah.
overall about what it at the time was African cuisine, but now it's more about cultural African cuisine, because my work is not just on the Hasaba food group side, it's also on the Hasaba Foundation side,
Yeah.
where we're trying to just really bring those cuisines to the forefront. So right now we go from cuisine to cuisine. We borrow space to do the work that we do.
Yep.
I think it's important as somebody that had lived here, and then as somebody that has been embraced by Omaha and then call Omaha home now, that I do something to bring us together, right? You talk about food should evoke emotion or bring emotion out of you.
Absolutely.
That's really what I'm about. I want to change the perspective that people have about that immigrant that is here living in Omaha, right? Now, I can claim to know Syrian cuisine as much as I know African cuisine, or even not the whole Africa, but West Africa. But I am I am good enough to be able to tap into all of them, right? So the goal really here is just make people discover a different kind of flavor, a different kind of cuisine, and also change the mentality.
Yeah.
Because through food, you will change what you think about me. Because again, if you love the cuisine, you can't hate the person.
True.
So that's why. So I own every kitchen that I step in. You know what I mean? I don't have a location yet. It's gonna happen, but the work of the mission is more important for us.
No, you're doing it. Like, it's an incredible mission. So at these hotels and banquets that you were working,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, it's a job.
Mm-hmm.
With your passion for food, though, did it feel like a job? Did you feel like, all right, I'm going to work, and then if you did, what happened? What was the transition where it went from being a job to being a passion, or has it always just been a passion for you?
I think it was a passion already when I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and cook like 7 dishes. And then by the time 7 o'clock, even though there was only a couple of us, we couldn't eat it all. I knew already, but the passion to just right this wrong started at the hotel, because once I experienced the disparity, once I experienced the pain point of so many African at the time and other immigrants also coming here and not being able to be in those spaces, the passion to just really change the narrative about the African culture and the African culinary heritage and African food just became that point right there. And then I just fell more in love with the work, because I understood then that food is how I'm going to express myself.
Yeah.
You know, food is how I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live my life through food. So that, and then again, when you see somebody that wants to have their weddings at a hotel, but it's forced to go have it at a community place or at a church somewhere, you understand that it's like, it's not okay, it's not right. You know, especially when you're working there, and then you can make a difference, but they will not allow you. Or when you see somebody bringing the food to work or lunch, break lunch or school, and they feel some type of way to warm it up, because everybody else doesn't know the food. And they make fun of it. They don't understand why it's called chakalaka, why it's called apamprasa. Apamprasa is from Ghana, or jenkume from Togo, but it's nothing with polenta. So we want to just, you know, when I say we, the whole team that we have right here, both on the foundation side and the food group side, we are thinking about just not bringing this as a food, but as a request to change the systematic, you know, bias that existed a long time ago, right? How do we make sure that these cuisine are mainstream? It shouldn't take you to come to a pop-up that I, you know, have to just taste food like this. It should be the norm. When you think about food from Africa, when you think about food from other part of the world, it should be the norm, whether it's Peruvian, Guatemalan, or Syrian, Afghan. So I'm trying to just see, how can I help somebody else? Because if I feel this way, I guarantee you there's somebody from Angola, there's somebody from Afghanistan or Syria or Guatemala that is feeling the same way. They're probably also thinking about, how can I also right that wrong? Now I'm trying to help out.
Yeah.
by just doing the work on our foundation to help bring those folks also, give them the same opportunity that I had, but in a place where we are safe.
Yeah.
Right, in a place where we can all come together, no matter how bad your English is, no matter how long you live here, as long as you love Omaha and you want to stay here, and then you love this place, and then you want to also just contribute to a better community. That's the work we do. That's the passion now.
Yeah.
And we do this by just going to a lot of places where we teach it. For example, we are in Benson High School, doing what we call our global kitchen training. We teach young American global cuisine, so they can change the palate, so they can see other folks differently, right?
Yeah.
So
No, seriously.
yeah.
I mean, the internet has done a great job of showing parts of the African culture and their
Yeah.
food,
Mhm.
and like fufu blew
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
out of
Blew up.
nowhere,
Yeah.
and through the internet,
Yes. Yes.
But I think it's incredible, like all these spaces that you've been in, and you found a way to show what you learn, what you want people to see, even in the spaces that are controlled to be like, hey, this is what you come here for, and this is what we're gonna deliver. And you found a way to still be like, I can understand that, but I can also provide this. In these spaces though, who would you say has been your biggest influence?
In those spaces, as far as influence,
Like who's been your biggest influence in the culinary industry? Just
pretty okay. So before I started going to school, being that I come from an ex-French colony, so I read Jacques Pepin book, right, The Apprentice. I read the French version. That really, cemented my desire to become a chef. You know what I mean? I really understood then that the journey is possible. So I walk in knowing what to expect, because the book The Apprentice, really gave me, when you ever read it, you will see what it takes, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Bourdain book also, is something that I read also. So Jacques Pepin has been an influence on me,
I'm
right?
to check this book out.
Yeah. And then my mom, obviously, right? But anybody that is a chef, anybody doing something, I'm always a big learner, right? I'm always want to just learn from everybody else. But when you talk about chefs, when I also grew up a little bit more and in the industry, I also learned about Hercules and James, because Chef Hercules was George Washington chef.
Okay.
The people don't talk much about it, right?
Yeah.
How is it that we don't talk about this slave chef that was George Washington chef, right?
Yeah.
So if you go back when you were here, I used his one of his recipe in the Bellevue broths.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, to make fufu.
Yeah.
Right? But I just elevated it. But if you go there talk about American chef, famous American chefs, no one will mention Hercules Posey.
Yeah.
Because people talk about him, right? But we all know that slaves were the one that were in the kitchen cooking a lot.
Yep.
And then so why is it lost? Why can't we have this kind of thing? This one for me, that's why when I look at the contemporary cuisine, the contemporary industry, I'm like, why don't we have the African part to it?
Yeah. It's the damn Rockefellers, man.
And, right. Okay. Well, let's change that, right? Let's change that. Even if you talk about soul food is just reinterpreted African food.
Yeah.
Right? So those are where I pull my influences from, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a revolutionary person, but really I think it's important that, especially in Omaha. Omaha is a city that has a lot of people from a lot of places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we need to be able to give everybody that opportunity to be able to see their culture on the table. You know?
So before The Apprentice, before reading that book, what did you think a chef was? Like, what was your perception of it before that?
I don't know if I had a perception of it before that. The reason why is because I didn't think it was going to be a career.
Okay.
Right. I was a math kid. I love math, and that's why I studied accounting and finance. That's just what it was. So I just, I knew how to cook, and then I want to learn more. But I don't think I have watched some chef shows on TV, you name it, all those, on Food Network, stuff like that. But my thought wasn't in it. So I knew nothing. You know how I know, I knew nothing. I went to a grocery store.
Okay.
Thinking that I can learn how to be a chef.
Yeah, walking through the aisles. Stofers. Yeah.
That's how you knew I knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But for me, it was just like maybe the chefs are over there cooking. So it wasn't until again Dante and the culinary school that I learned, what a chef is. But I think sometimes I'm lucky to be in this position where um I don't have the pressure of having a restaurant, of running it, all that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? But it's because I made the choice, right? If I were to just have that, I won't be able to do the mission of, the class that I'm telling you about right now. Nothing makes me more happy when than seeing a white kid, eating a food from India or food from Africa and be like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
Because I know that it's gonna grow up or she's gonna grow up differently,
Yep.
right? They're gonna just be somebody's gonna just be open to the world.
Yeah, they
right?
got a taste of some culture.
Exactly. They gotta taste the culture. So for me, I'm like, haven't seen what I've seen in the hotel. I'm asking myself, how can we ride this? They're saying they don't know a lot, they don't have a lot of people that know the cuisine. So let me train more people that know the cuisine. They're saying there's no demand. So let me give the community, everybody, the taste of it so they can have that demand. And also let's teach our own kids to not forget about it. So they can go back and just also kind of ask for it.
Yeah.
This is the systemic approach that we have at the foundation level. And you will notice that when I'm talking, I don't just talk about my catering company, I'm also talking about the foundation side because both of them are dear to me. Both of them are important, and then the work that we do. Just last week, we were at Curtin University, to Curtin Dining. We went there and served a West African dish on one of the main line.
Why did I get the invite?
I'm
That's
sorry,
crazy.
next time I know I'll get
That's
the invite.
crazy. We are
You know
friends
what I
on
mean?
Facebook, Instagram. I couldn't get an invite.
I'm sorry to, I should have, but the reason why we do those things is because also put the seed out there. We got to put it out there. So if college play a huge role in molding the future leaders, the future, generation of American. If we can also go there and serve West African dish, if we can also go there and show them a different kind of culture, they're gonna just also change their mind. They're gonna also be somebody different, right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of work that we do. And then for me, I'm just like an artist.
Yeah.
Edible art is the way I express myself. Yeah.
So, is there a word that, and maybe you can't say it in one word, but is there one word that you could say you want people to feel when they sit down and dine with you, or when they're walking away? What do you want?
I think it's a phrase. I would say I've said it earlier, but that's truly what I believe in, and that's truly how I think I can express that. And then it's just that if you truly love somebody's food, you cannot hate them. So you have to give yourself that opportunity to try other culture affirming cuisine, to be able to see what it is, because you can't hate that person if your soul will not let you, right? So my food is about expression. My food is about bringing people together. My food is about showing that forget the bias, forget what you learned, forget what people told you, forget all that kind of thing, forget what you see. Taste it first, and then go from there. It's like building this container of connection, right? When you eat my food, I want you to know that whether you're from, whether you have Swedish ancestry, German, Congolese, Burmese, or from Syria, we could all can sit together, and eat something that might look, so much different, but yet similar to what you know. This is really what I want to bring to. I want to really bring people together when I serve my food, and that's why we play with a lot of influences.
I saw this video, and this gentleman was talking about, imagine buying a crayon box, and you wanted to go home and paint this beautiful picture, and you open the crayon box, and every single crayon was the same color. It's gonna be a real boring picture. But that's why, as people, as cultures, all have different colors that come together to be one beautiful picture. And that's what, in my opinion, you do with the food.
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I want to be able to bring people together, paint that picture with a different kind of color. That's why you can't be in that sandbox or have that tunnel vision thinking that I grew up just with this. Nothing makes me more happier when I go to places where people have never tried other food, or when there is a wedding and then there's a mixed couple, and then I can do a Korean, German, African barbecue. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sitting there like thinking of it right now. Like,
I mean, man, I made kimchi you know, and then just using Korean and African influence in it. And a mother flew from Korea, it came here for a wedding, but it's like, dude, man, this is the best kimchi I've ever had. I'm like, I mean, just like those kind of things, just like what makes me one assert the notion that food is food.
Yeah.
We all love the same food and we're all the same people. Nothing makes me more happy to do stuff like that, you know, or somebody telling me, man, I hate black eyed peas growing up, but you made me love black eyed peas.
Yeah.
So then they're like, okay, if you love it, then you can pass it on. You can change the mindset of the next generation.
Yeah.
So we all can be, you know, this is really what I love. This is what I want to hear when I serve somebody my food.
Yeah.
I want that emotion to come out, you know, that emotion that is positive toward bringing all of us together.
Yeah.
You know, that's really what I'm seeking.
So and I'm switching gears, but
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
went from a very like comfortable job,
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
cushiony job, an accountant,
Yeah.
to being a chef, you know, like tell me about what obviously that was a major cost, you know, like that you took a risk and bet on yourself, you know. So in the career of being a chef, what does it cost you besides your time?
You know what though? I'm somebody that I don't regret things. Before I do something, I know what I want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and even if I go in it and it doesn't work, I learn something from it. I'm all about learning. So if we focus on what it costs me or what it costs us, then we know we're in the wrong job. If you love what you do, if you have the passion for it, you know, you wouldn't just say that I lost something.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, the career, right? Obviously, the monetary, right? Because when I went back and then I got out of the college, you know, culinary institute, you know how much chef get paid. You know how it is. You know how you gotta start from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Most you could be a chef and
know what I mean?
they'll hire you for a dishwasher.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it was always, I don't think I knew that I would even be doing this. I don't think I knew that I would just be willing to have a foundation beside my catering job. You know, I didn't. This was something you ask yourself. If this came to me, why me, right? Because why this desire to, you know, jump on this and then trying to do something about it, right?
Yeah.
But you have to go back to your upbringing, right? My dad, it was Orthodox Muslim, but he was also somebody that was open enough to send me to Catholic school.
Yeah.
He wanted me to go to Catholic school. He wanted me to have the best education. He took a work for that because people say you are conservative Muslim, you send a kid to work Catholic school. But that traveled the world, you know, trying to just either for political reason or for religious reason. You know, my dad had met head of state like Yasser Arafat, you know, Pope Jean Paul II. You know what I mean? So I don't think. You know, now looking back, I think that work has influenced who I am today.
Yeah.
My dad was a community man. He started that a long time ago. My dad was somebody that believed in tri-faith, believed in bringing people together. You know, so that curiosity that he put in me and seeing the work that he has done influenced me now, but then I didn't know it. So it was easy for me then to just start this and saying that let me right this wrong.
Yeah.
This pain point that I see that a lot of people in Omaha are having, still today, Tay, I challenge you to go out right now, go to any hotel in town, or go to any event space in town, and say, I want to have this event, but I want food from Burundi. They'll tell you we can't do it.
Oh, don't get me started. I DJ weddings. I eat wedding food every weekend for almost 65 weeks a year.
Exactly. So you know the kind of food you get.
Yeah.
And the challenge that I'm having right now is that those venues, those places, when we go there, we should put us on your catering list. They're like, you know, we don't know.
They're not gonna fit our clientele.
Exactly. But you don't know that the clientele actually come to those events that we do and they eat it.
Yeah.
Or they put me in the box. Oh, you're just doing African food. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I can do any kind of food.
Yeah.
I just don't do African food.
Yeah.
The thing I can do Italian food and then just switch it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you know, so we need to just break that mold. We need to change that, right? And us, chef, need to do that work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Including the one that are not African or, you know, from other parts. They need to be able to just open up themselves. And the funny thing is, I tell that, you know, man, dude, if your name is Tyler, or your name is John or Matthew, if you make jollof, you will sell it way more than me.
Yeah.
Because people will be curious.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you doing it, but like, wait a minute, who?
Mhm.
And if you look at Jamie Oliver's, you know, restaurant in London, he's serving jollof already now.
Yeah.
You know, it's catching up.
Mhm.
But
And
then,
it's crazy because, I mean, African food is the mecca of cooking. Like, I remember I was watching, I think it was High on the Hog.
yeah,
movie.
I know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And they were talking about, I think it was where roux came from.
yeah,
And automatically, you know, what I've been taught was
Yeah.
it comes from French. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're like, no, it's Africa. And I'm like,
yeah.
damn, yo, everything. Like,
Thickening, all the kind of.
Mhm.
I mean, if you think about it, scientists said the first human being was, you know, in Africa,
yeah.
right? So it's just we can't even start talking about that right now.
Mhm.
Art, everything, music, all that kind of thing, right? If you were to just dab into that, you'd be like, you know, how many things we find out that has been in Africa that people don't talk about. We have to rewrite our own history. We have to do that part, right? For me, I just decided to do it in a way that I bring people together instead of staying in a silo
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, I'm just cooking for African, or I'm just cooking for Black power. No, yes, Black power, but all of us power. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it's important that food bring us together.
Yep.
Because if we keep just thinking that this is it, that's why when people ask me, also, why don't you go have your own catering event space, all that kind, I'm like, that's all great. But again, that means that they can only come to my venue and have his wedding.
Yeah.
I don't want it just to be that. I want it also be that if when you go to the Marriott, the Hiltons, you know, the Cottonwoods, you can have that food.
Yeah.
All it takes is for us to keep pushing it,
Mhm.
right? If today I was able to go to Curtin University and then the Curtin Dining and serve jollof rice, the next day if I go to UNO, at one point in time they might be like, wait a minute, now we need to put that on the menu.
Yeah.
That's the work that for me I'm trying to do. When can your kid go to school at lunch and have something else? I'm not saying change the whole thing.
Mhm.
It's not about this debate about people thinking diversity and unity or diversity or, you know, yeah. How can you have unity if you don't have diversity?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People want to play with worlds, but they think that when you talk about let's bring new cuisine or other cuisine, is taboo, is the wrong thing. It's not really that.
No. I
Yeah.
mean, when you smell African food, or I'll just say food outside of what
Yeah.
you're normally used
Yeah.
to smelling,
Yeah,
it triggers something in your brain,
it does.
and you're like, I gotta know where that smell is coming from,
Yeah.
what that smell is, and like that was one of the major reasons why I wanted you to be a part of Best Fest, because
Yeah.
I'm like, people are just gonna smell his food and be like, I don't know what he's gonna make, but it's gonna be something that I've never experienced, you know, and then. Like, I was so happy you were like, yeah, like I'm down. I'll be
course.
part of Best
Of
Fest. So
course.
like, what made you say yes though to
You know,
joining and being a part of the event?
I mean, this is the best fest, right? The concept of it, you know, because I was like, we talk about it, let's bring back to the best fest. The concept of it, right? It's like, as artist, you're talking about, you know, have a not only like a culinary artist, you have a musician. You're talking about having a also, I mean, you name it, other artists, right? You know, there's gonna be, you know, so many artistic events happening during that day that I don't know why I would say no to something like this. For me, I think it's one of the coolest and best events that's gonna happen in Omaha. And then Best Fest an opportunity to get to continue this mission.
Yeah.
I seek this opportunity because I want to change. I am on a mission to make sure that this kind of cuisine make it to places like this, especially if it's about giving a unique event, unique feeling, unique opportunity to be somewhere. So this event itself, the way it's designed, the way the conception is, it's like you will be as a chef that live in Omaha, even in the Midwest, you want to come to this event.
Yeah.
I mean, this you want to come to it because it's just like a box of cultural, artistic opportunity out there. Edible arts, you know.
Edible art, I love that.
Yeah,
It
edible
is,
art.
it
You know what I
is,
mean?
it is
And then
absolutely
also you
edible art.
have the artistic art, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I know it's gonna be the best thing. So that's why for me, when you describe it, I was like, you know what, say no more.
Yeah.
You know, you want to bring the best of Omaha to also do something different in Omaha, give people an opportunity to be able to meet artists of all kind, right? I'm trying to get the word like what they call sound artists. I don't know that's what it is, but you know.
Yeah. So, Best Fest is absolutely a blend of art.
There you go.
know,
Blend of art.
Music
There you
is
go.
art. Food is art.
Yeah.
How do you take? Because this was the most mind blowing part of it for me when I sat down and dined. How do you take African food and conceptualize it into this beautiful dish? How did because I mean when you any other restaurant in
Yeah.
Omaha, any other African restaurant in Omaha you go to, you will not see a plate like a plate that you deliver. So how do you take what is a beautiful dish and make it elegant?
I think it's all of you know how I think I've heard this before. You tell me if I'm wrong, but they say that as our ancestor here, the music, right? So and then it came from pain. It's like as they were there in the cotton field, picking things and doing things. The thing they were going through, the emotion they were going through, the suffering, everything led them to just really get something, the sound, the music, the voice, the lyric, something out, right?
Yeah.
So I think what I'm convinced about the cost that I'm chasing.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that this has to change. And I know that people don't have any clue about they don't have a clue about what African food is, right?
Yeah.
So and then once you convince in that, you find ways and you're giving talent just shine through.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me yesterday, we were shooting a dish from Tunisia. It's called homak harira, if I pronounce it right, but it's like the translation like your mother's salad. This like it's a carrot salad.
Oh, no, here you go, about to make me hungry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? I will. It's very good though. You know what I mean? They would call it relish or something like that. But I played it a little different, and then I was being asked, "How do you know how to play it different? How do you?" I was like, what? I really don't know, but it's just I think about it. I think about how all these things we talk about. How can this evoke emotion in you?
Yeah.
How can I bring you closer with the dish? How can I put things in there that that will make you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
But yet you're not eating the same thing. So then I'm like, how can I do all this? So there's a lot of thought behind it. So when you're eating this, you know what it is, but yet you don't know what it is, right? That's how I approach about it. And then also I'm thinking, if I need to convince you to love this food, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
I think because I think about all this kind of thing, the end product just come out good, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you one example. This is just like where I was blown away myself. We did this wedding after doing the South Korean, German, Nebraskan, African wedding. They had a cousin, and then they wanted me to cater for the wedding also. And then the groom and between the groom and bride and every family members, they had about 26 allergy, like 26 allergy and 26 things that they are allergic. Allergic to.
Yeah.
Like from I mean,
Selfish.
Shellfish is okay.
Yeah.
Forget about the grapes. Think
Oh,
about
wow.
somebody say they can't have grapes. Think
Yeah.
somebody say I can have this type of cumin. If they think of somebody saying I can eat strawberry or even honey. So many that I'm like, whoa.
How many people was it?
About 150 people. It was
Wow.
150 people.
Yeah.
So they were trying to find a caterer that can customize something for them. And for me, I like nothing better than that. When we sent them the menu, every single thing they pick on the menu was African food.
Nice.
So they found that African cuisine can actually, suit the allergy.
Yeah.
And we did this dish, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work well, but it worked well.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So that tells you the depth of African cuisine. That also tells you how we're able to just deliver that. So that's always on my mind. If they can find something, and now this is the second year we do like recap wedding for some because they have the grandma anniversary, grandma birthday, all that kind of thing. So we've catered for them on, and they become a customer for me that they get our spice jar and stuff like that. So it's an example to tell you how the food can serve and how it's important it is, right? So when I design menu or when I think about food, that's what I'm thinking about. It's not just for the African, it's for everybody else, right? And how do we bring people together?
Yeah.
That's what makes it. And I can't take the credit. I'm very humble, Tay.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
And you don't have to be. Don't be
No,
humble with
but
me,
I
man.
think there's a
Honk your horn.
there is a lot more that I can be better at. There's a lot more that I can learn. There's a lot more that I need to just provide. But as of now, I am grateful for Omaha. I'm grateful that I can even be here talking to you. Because if you look at my career, if you look at my path, people will be like, "What is it?" Some people sometimes when they hear my name or they're like, "Who's this guy? Where does he work at?" Because they're gonna ask you, "What?" which restaurant do you work at?
Yep.
Or which restaurant?
Mhm.
Which hotel do you work at?
Mhm.
People want to see that the establishment is what people think makes you who you are.
Mhm.
For me, it's not that.
Yeah.
You have to come to one of our events to taste the food and be like, damn, man, where can I go eat it every day?
Yeah, seriously.
So
Well, anytime I see, your name on a flyer or something, I'm like, I gotta share this because people gotta know.
yeah.
You're gonna be sitting up there with 9 of the other top chefs in the city.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think you're gonna be the crowd favorite. I think people are
Don't say that though. People say yeah.
Look, hey, I can have my own opinion.
You got some heavy wetters around there too.
Yeah.
You got Joel, you got other chefs. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But for me, I just take it as I just want to make sure that people enjoy it. I just want to make sure that people really live like you say, and then food will evoke an emotion in them, right? If it means doing something Scottish and be like, wait a minute, this ain't no from Scotland, and this is like yes, you're right. This is what I want to be able to, and I think because we cook food and plate food that way, that's what really get people. We get you with the taste, and we get you with the emotion. Mm-hmm. Your head is spinning about it also, and your soul is like, wait a minute, this is nuance. It's so nuanced, and it's so different that I want to have more of it.
Yeah. So, what excites you the most about this event? What are you looking forward to? What do you want to walk away from this event with?
You know what? I think for Omaha being what Omaha is, this is one of those events that gonna cement the legacy of art in Omaha.
Yeah.
In this time that we are in this moment where we seem to be pulled apart, we seem to have so much prejudice, so much wrong things said, so much falsehood.
Yeah.
Art can bring us together. Art can really pull people together. And then I think this is the reason why I want to be part of Best Fest, because Best Fest is an opportunity to just also start something new in Omaha, where regardless of what we believe, regardless of our background, regardless of where we're from, political, orientation, we can have a moment where we can just celebrate the city, celebrate the chefs, celebrate the artists, celebrate us.
Yeah.
I
think you should be the host. I'll be the cook, man. That's crazy.
No. You do it, man. You do it. And we all are just part of this. You know what I mean? So, it's important to me. That's how. I didn't think I was gonna stay in Omaha. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was gonna be here for this long. But Omaha has. I think I was in one of the podcasts I went to. I said Omaha will just swallow you.
Yeah.
And you can't leave anymore.
Yeah. What do you say? If you stay past 30, you're not leaving.
Yeah. So. You know what I mean? So. And then I think it's important. So I'm just only grateful that you guys thought of me to be part of this event, you know, but I know it's gonna be it's only gonna grow from here. It's gonna be something that's gonna be in demand, because people will just be counting days before Best Fest. Yeah. And then just be like, I gotta make sure I get my ticket, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what do you want people to walk away from? Like what feeling?
A feeling?
When they're done eating with you and dining with you, how do you want them to feel? I feel like you've already kind of explained it, but if you could narrow it down to an exact feeling or emotion.
You see, this is where you see that I'm different from others, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not even looking at this just like my table or these 220 or the 10 top that I'm gonna serve. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about the whole event in general. Yeah, I want every chef, every artist to bring their best at this event. It's called Best Fest for a reason. Mm-hmm. But I want everybody to know that what we're doing right now can influence the people that can walk out. Mm-hmm. Every time people come to my event, I tell them to become an ambassador. Because I want you to go out there and I want you to just share the message. I want you to plant the seed. So I approach this as making sure that I'm just giving the baton to somebody else to go out there. Yeah. And if this work is about bring unity, bring people together and taste something, come to Best Fest and bring the best out of us as human beings, as Omahan. Yeah. We need to give them that feeling that I'm going to walk away and say, you know what? This is good for the city. This is good for Omaha. Mm-hmm. I need to come again and again. Yeah, that's what I want people to walk away with. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm happy that I get to be the host, but I'm mad that I can't sit at that table. Hey, you're not gonna just be a host though. You're gonna have to have a chef jacket in the back. Yeah, in case I need to jump in. Maybe I'll wear the chef jacket just in case. I can do that. Somebody needs this extra set of hands. Yeah, exactly. Somebody you gotta be close right there as a host, like a chef. What do you need? All that kind of thing, because people seem to forget he's a chef also, dude. You've been doing them thing. I see you've been doing the pho every weekend, the soup, all that kind of thing. I'm like, damn, man, I want this. Well, hit me up. I'll bring you a bowl. No, and that's really why I cook. Our cooking styles are very similar. Yes, yes. Yeah.
I cook because I want people to see you don't just the color of your skin does not define what you can eat, and what you can
or
enjoy.
even your accent.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't define what you can enjoy. You're right about that. So
Yeah.
that's the key thing about it. You know, you have that in you. I see that the passion, right?
Yeah.
This is probably the idea of doing this thing is just something, you know, we can't suppress that anymore. We gotta get it out.
Yeah.
And it's needed right now. Art is just the way we can bring people together.
Okay.
You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Chef, thank you for joining me
Thank
today.
you. I appreciate it, man.
look forward
I can't
to
wait.
seeing
Best
what you're
Fest.
doing
You gotta get your tickets right now.
right now.
Otherwise you're gonna regret it.